Next up for review, we have a Mastertronic Plus release, a rather peculiar looking title by the name of Psycho Hopper. Let's check it out. So here's the front cover with a very psychedelic Psycho Hopper there, almost like neon lights, and there is the Psycho Hopper. It looks like a punk riding a space hopper, which is not very punk. He's also wielding what looks like a hairdryer with some extra bits stuck on it. And there's some kind of weird alien creature in the background there. Or possibly two alien creatures, I'm not sure. Anyway, so that's the front cover. And Psycho Hopper written on the side. As you can see, it's a Mastertronic Plus $2.99 game. And on the back, some screenshots of the guy bouncing around on his space hopper. It looks like a platformer, looks a little bit like Ghosts and Goblins in a way actually. And bit of info about the game there, the usual sort of stuff. Travel through levels on your trusty bounce bubble, gathering up valuable items, dodge or kill aliens who want to burst your bouncer. Irresistible entertainment. Quite a bit of hyphenation there on that, so run out of space. Anyway, so there you go. Let's have a look inside. And inside we go, and it's the usual stuff as you'd expect. Load instructions, controls, main blurb. They couldn't even think of anything to put on the top of that blurb. They just put main blurb. There's a bump about what you're supposed to do in the game. More bump. Tells you how to bounce, shoot, and then some foreign language stuff. And we've got this advert in the back again for the Well-Odd t-shirt. And that's all I've got to say about the inside really. Okay, so the game's loading and we've got a loading screen, and unusually we've got loading music as well. And as you can see, it says Psycho Hopper on the screen, and there's not much else. There's like a spooky graveyard in the background there, and what looks like the Terminator and a weird sort of teddy bear. But one thing to note is, unexpectedly, I suppose it's fair to say, this is the second game in a row that I've reviewed that's done by Lothlorien. So that wasn't intentional, that's a fluke basically. So anyway, a little bit surprised by that, as you can probably tell. And oh, the screen's gone off, so the game must nearly be loaded. Okay, so here's the game loaded, and some of the title screen is rather familiar. The font's rather similar to Octoplex, which I reviewed last. You've got some nice graphics flying around on that title screen there. There's a skeleton and some witches flying about, which is quite cool. This high score table looks very familiar as well compared to Octoplex, and you can see there on that screen that the game is by the same people that did the Octoplex game. Different graphics person, but Jay Buckley and Tiny are familiar names. Okay, so let's get on with the game. So here we go, and you're in a graveyard. It's a nice effect of the lightning flashing and the thunder crashing every now and then. You get lots of bats flying around, and left and right moves your space hopper, as you can see. And the fire button fires, and initially you're thinking, how the hell do I get out of here? But the way you make the space hopper bounce higher is to push down on it, and that makes it bounce a bit higher. But what you've got to do to get it to bounce significantly higher is push down every time the space hopper lands on the ground, which is rather tricky. It's all about the timing. As you can see, I'm rather struggling to do that, and I'm getting whacked by bats all the time while I'm at it. I'm getting a sort of decent height now. I should be able to bounce over this now. There we go. And the aim of the game is to collect bits of an item, which as you can see I just did, and one of them appeared on the screen below me there on the status bar. And I've got to do the same thing again now to try and get out of here. So lots of bouncing and lots of shooting going on. Oh, there we go. Oh, and neatly gone underneath there as well. So music's quite nice, and the graphics are pretty cool as well of the enemies in the background. The guy on the space hopper looks a bit naff. So I'm bouncing around. I've now got to try and get over this thing here, and to do that, as you can see, bouncing at that level, I'm not going to shoot the little things that are blocking the way at the top, so I'm going to have to get a decent bounce going here. There we go, that's a bit more promising. There we go, that looks good now. Oh, there we go. Right, so moving on, I continue my way through this haunted graveyard on a space hopper. Why you would want to do that, I'm not entirely sure, but there you go. Sure, it's easier for the guy to just walk, and now I got killed and I've respawned thankfully just past that barrier, so I can just carry on. As you can see, it's rather tricky to control. Also, the skeletons don't seem to be killable, which makes for a rather difficult scenario when it rises up in the middle of this screen here. So let's give it another go. That could be a useful bounce. Oh, I managed to get another piece of the what is obviously some kind of goblet there. I'm going to end up bouncing over here now, and I've missed one. And there goes another life. So I've got one life left now, and not much closer to getting this level completed. The big problem is you're trying to get up ahead of steam to bounce up these things. You mistime your press down of the joystick at any point, and you have to start basically from scratch, which is really difficult. Right, okay, I've worked out how to get past that guy without losing any more energy anyway. I could get enough here to bounce up here. Oh no, that's annoying. See, they're all over the place, little things trying to kill me. I've got no chance here, I may as well just give up now. There's the basics of a quite a good game here. You know, graphically, sonically, it sounds good. The overall aim of the game is fine, but why on earth choose to put the guy on the back of a space hopper? One of the least controllable and mobile kids' toys ever designed. It'd be alright if you could jump off the thing and hit people with it. I remember doing that when I was a kid. I used to get my space hopper and just basically whack people around the head with it. And death's coming fairly soon, but maybe I'll just get up there. No, and there I go, I'm dead, and that's game over. And I'm not going to have another game because it's just utterly frustrating. So there you go. That's Psycho Hopper. As I say, the basics of a good game, but the control mechanism just makes it now and impossible. I used to think when I first played Whizball that trying to control the ball in that was one of the most difficult things ever. At least you got the opportunity to get it under control. With this, you'd have to negotiate every level using that bloody space hopper, trying to push down on the joystick just at the right time. So I'm afraid that's not worth $2.99 for me, and that's pretty much the end of this review. It can hop off.